Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies and show you how they were made. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Psycho 3. Yes, a third Psycho. It came out in theaters in 1986. And I mean, of course it did. Psycho 2 was well received and made almost 7 times its budget. Initially, Anthony Perkins didn't want to return to the franchise, but Universal knew he had wanted to direct the last movie. So they offered him the position this time around, and he agreed to do it.
You directed this, right?
That's what they tell me.
The first Psycho sequel was a surprisingly clever follow-up to a classic. Despite its violent kills, it was more of a character piece than an 80s slasher. Psycho 3, conversely, feels more like its contemporaries. The kills are bloodier, and the victims are random folk only there to add to the body count, rather than anyone integral to the plot. And it's a whole lot more prurient too, which is a really good vocab word for you to learn and remember. You're welcome. There's also not an interesting mystery lurking in the background, and the references. Come on, man, the references are too much.
My hobby, stuffing things.
FOC, of course, free of charge.
Psycho 2 already went hard on the callbacks, lines and shots and everything, and Psycho 3 shamelessly does three-peats all over the place. Craziest thing is, the next movie goes 4 for 4. But Psycho 3 has some fun direction, and the supporting cast is good. You get to see a young Jeff Fahey. Man, I didn't know Lapidus fucks like that. There's also an interesting and unorthodox score, courtesy of Carter Burwell, and of course, those kills I mentioned. Let's see how many there are and count them up. The movie begins with a blaspheming nun standing at the edge of the world.
There is no God!
Well, God's part of the job description here, and Sister Margaret tries to explain that to Sister Maureen, but whoops, look at that! She's going down, down, baby. Oh shit, now her life is over! And after she goes boom, boom, baby, ain't no one here ready to let it go. This death serves as a double Hitchcock reference. The nun falling is an homage to Vertigo, and when Maureen grabs at her sleeve only for it to tear off, it's a reference to Saboteur! After accidentally killing someone, Sister Maureen Coyle just nopes the fuck out of there, I guess. Damn, she didn't have to talk to the police or anything? She's able to just walk away right into a title card? She walks through a whole ass desert and opening credits to a road where she gets picked up by an obvious slickster. Don't be fooled by his dashboard Christ.
I was thinking about replacing it with one of those magnetic compasses, you know, but you usually end up going the wrong direction anyway.
I mean, it's not your fault, man. That island had properties. This is Dwayne Duke, and he yaps until the sun goes down and production breaks out the sprinklers. It's not safe to continue, so he pulls over and parks. And I mean, obviously the night doesn't go well, because Maureen wakes up to him sticking a flashlight up her dress. He starts assaulting her, so she slaps him and gets out into the rain. Duke apologizes sincerely.
Stupid bitch!
Oh, wait a minute, no he doesn't. My bad. The next day, it's the fucking Dust Bowl over at the Bates Motel. Tumbleweed and everything. The Bates house is still there, even if it doesn't look as high or far away. What, did that hill shrink? The whole place is littered with memories of Psycho 2, like that window where that horny teen died, or that book Meg Tilly had been reading. And all that happened only a month ago, with Emma Spoole's disappearance still a local mystery. Of course, we know what happened to her. Hey, I said we know Psycho 3! Also, the second movie wasn't even in black and white. That was the other one. The events of the last movie have really shaken up Norman. He can't even tend to his hobbies without hallucinating. He hears a car honking, and it's the Hazard Duke himself. Duke's not here for a room, he's here for a way to earn some cash. He's gotta fix his car before he heads off to LA, so Norman agrees to hire him for a few weeks to help run the place. Norman heads to the diner, where his ex-boss Ralph Statler and the Sheriff John Hunt still think he's a fine, innocent lad, even though his co-worker went missing a month ago. Less trusting of Bates is Tracy Venable, a journalist from LA who's writing a piece on the insanity defense and the killers it frees. But Norman can't pay attention to her, because another blonde pixie cut just rolled into town.
Marion Crane, right?
No, this is Maureen Coyle. She's got the same initials though, and when Norman sees them on her luggage, it sends him into flashbacks, black and white and wet all over. He can't help but see Marion Crane and Maureen Coyle, and his thoughts lend way to a percussive little mini breakdown. Until it's broken by a record scratch? What? What the fuck was that? Norman leaves and tickles the keys at home, but Maureen winds up at the motel anyway, looking for a cheap place to stay. She's not exactly thrilled that Duke's here, who apologizes for trying to rape her like he accidentally spilled a drink on her dress. But she's too exhausted to give a fuck anymore. She pays for a room with a torn $5 bill and takes cabin number 1, just 2 doors down from the creepy tall guy trying to hide behind a pole. A cute girl in cabin 1 is enough to bring the mother out of Norman as he freaks out about seeing a Marion clone.
Another of your cheap
erotic delusions out of your cheap erotic imagination.
Aw, man, we spent all of Psycho 2 rooting for Norman to fight against falling back into his old ways. And now we've got him full-on mothering again, and not in the good way. Duke goes to the local bar, and I appreciate the new setting. It expands the town past the single diner we've already seen a bunch. Tracy Venable's there and finds out Duke works at the Bates Motel, so she fills him in on all the Norman lore. He tells her about the blonde naif staying there, so she takes off to go check it out. But that don't mean Duke is leaving the bar by himself. Meanwhile, Norman can't go one night without peeking through the office peephole. He watches Maureen undress in a real strange way, like she's doing a striptease with rigor mortis. What's with this? Does she know he's watching? Why is she being all Mrs. Robinson in there? Also, ain't she a nun? None of that bothers Norman as he gets an eyeful of that holy bum. Once again, it's a body double through the peephole. That butt's provided by Brink Stevens in a blonde wig. Miss Stevens is a B-movie scream queen from Slumber Party Massacre and other fare of that nature, like sorority babes in the Slimeball Bolorama, which, I mean, I'd love to cover someday if y'all want me to. It's got a weird little guy named Uncle Impy. Norman busts out the blade and sneaks into cabin 1 wearing his favorite stabbing wig and stabbing dress. But when he pulls back the curtain, he finds Maureen taking a bath, not a shower, and it's a red bath. She's in bad shape. Maureen sees the silhouette of Mother, but it turns into a vision of the Virgin Mary with a crucifix in place of a kitchen knife. The next time she sees a Holy Mother standing over her, it's from a bed at a Catholic hospital. The psychiatrist priest there tells her she was saved by Norman Bates. It's earned him some hero cred from the sheriff and skepticism from Tracy, who questions what he was doing in Maureen's cabin in the first place. His excuse is that he was delivering clean sheets, and it works well enough for Maureen. He tells her she can stay at the motel free of charge, and she wonders why he's being so nice to her.
After the way you found me, you must think I've gone mad.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Alright, this scene's already sappy enough. We don't need the forced callbacks too. In fact, I find it hard to care about Maureen's whole thing going on, a nun shunned for having sexual desires. Diana Scarwood does fine in the role. I mean, she was an Oscar-nominated actress, but the character just, I don't know, doesn't do anything for me. Norman says goodbye to Maureen and heads back home in an awesome shot. It's a full-on freaking Darren Lynn Bousman Saw transition as he exits the hospital room, closes the door, and without cutting, is all of a sudden in a room at home with his mom, who sits there talking shit about that nun. Perkins has a few creative shots like this. Earlier, the light underneath a closed door turned into the edge of a knife blade, and another shot transitioned between scenes by match cutting what was on a TV. Really cool stuff. Norman continues his one-person, two-sided argument, and it's heard down at the motel by Duke and the chick he's picked up from the bar. Her name is Red, and she's played by Juliette Cummins, a respectable scream queen thanks to Friday 5 and Slumber Party Massacre 2. She's no stranger to getting sexy, and she does so here as Duke signals that he's into it. At least I think that's what he's signaling. Man, this scene is saucy, with all these colored lights and a crazy saxophone wailing on the soundtrack. The purple cellophane-covered lamps may be a reference to Crimes of Passion, a Ken Russell movie Perkins had just starred in a couple years prior. Another influence for Perkins as a director was Blood Simple, the debut movie by the Coen brothers. In fact, he hired Blood Simple's composer to do the music for Psycho 3. Carter Burwell's score is intentionally different from the orchestral work in the first two films by Bernard Herrmann and Jerry Goldsmith. He used the Synclavier synthesizer's sampling ability to incorporate choral voices and unorthodox percussion. The sax in the scene comes courtesy of David Sanborn, a frickin' legend, doing an original song for the movie called Scream of Love. It even got a tie-in music video that Perkins did an intro for on MTV. As for the lampshade thing, Jeff Fahey may have pitched that idea himself to lighten up what was otherwise a pretty intense sex scene that he had to be naked for.
I was really uncomfortable with that.
When the fluid swapping's over, Duke tells Red to leave, giving her the torn $5 bill for a cab. When she hesitates, he physically tosses her topless ass out. Damn, man, she took a hell of a spill there. Also, damn, Duke, how many women are you gonna do this to in 1 week? Red ducks into a phone booth, but as she's toplessing herself again to fix her shirt, she's attacked by Mother with a kitchen knife. She's stabbed relentlessly, in another echo of the shower scene, only a lot more visceral. This one's got dripping red blood and the victim sliding around on cut glass. The end result is all the same though. And the reaction is all the same too.
Mother! Oh God, Mother! Blood! Blood!
I'm telling you, man, they go real hard with the callbacks. Perkins said it might have caused the lukewarm box office performance.
We didn't realize that really with Psycho 3, we were almost retelling the story of Psycho 1. There was too much of Psycho 1 and Psycho 3.
Norman has cleaned up the phone booth by the time Duke finds him the next morning, but he shouldn't have returned Red's money to the register, because Duke notices the torn dollar bill. He shows it to Tracy, and also mentions the voices he heard from the house, piquing her interest right as Norman and Maureen get back from the hospital. This place is bumping, thanks to a bunch of people here to watch the local homecoming homecoming game. Damn, y'all grown-ass adults getting this fucked up for a high school football game? Pretty sad. Norman tells Tracy to get the heck out of there. He's gotta get all duded up for a date night with Maureen. And we ain't talking sandwiches and milk in the parlor. They go to an actual restaurant. Damn, Norman, up in your game. He even gets her to dance, which I think gets her interested in him, and maybe the piano player too. They get back to the motel just in time for a storm to roll in, which lets Maureen see a flash of Mother in the window. Mommy Dearest freaks her out, but she still invites Norman into her cabin. She wants to share a glass of water with this tall glass of water, and pretty soon she gets her hydrated desires. Wow, this is the first time we've seen Norman be sexual. He could use some practice. The two sexual noobs decide to lay there and nap instead, but when Maureen wakes up later, her cuddle buddy's nowhere to be found. Norman bailed on bedtime, fearing it would come between him and his mother. She agrees.
It's perfectly natural for a son to love his mother.
Actress Virginia Gregg voices Mother in this movie. She also did so in Psycho 2 and was one of the voices in the original. Psycho 3 was the first time she actually got to be on set though, instead of recording her lines in a studio during post-production. It was also the first time she met Perkins, who wanted her behind the camera doing the dialogue and scenes between Norman and Mother. Norm hears Maureen calling for him to come back down and sees his mom's corpse sitting upright in the bed. That is freaky! He tells Maureen to go back to her room and lock her door, because she shan't be included in what's coming next. A little bit of the old wig and dress routine. He's got plenty of targets, like all these drunks trying to relive their glory days. The only sober one is Patsy Boyle, who's just looking for a place to pee. She's played by Kat Shea, who would go on to be a director, making a bunch of erotic thrillers and The Rage Carrie 2, my go-to answer for underrated horror sequel. I also took her acting class a few years ago. She's real cool. Never had me read lines with a bush though, which is what Perkins had her do before she got the part.
And I never had this happen before, where somebody wanted me to act with a bush. But I did, and I got the part.
Patsy's barely got a stream going when someone shows up in the bathroom and slits her throat with a nice simple bladder effect. Ooh, and a stomach stab. Oh, and the toilet paper roll gets stabbed too. Ah, the humanity. A little while later, Norman comes into the parlor asking for Duke, but finds Patsy's body instead. He's shocked, but not as shocked as that owl. The next morning, the cops show up at Norman's house saying a motel guest went missing.
Oh, someone's missing, and I'm the first one you think about.
Yeah, my dude, fucking obviously. That warrant was probably easy as shit to get. Norman runs upstairs to his mother's room, and the cops follow him inside, but there ain't nothing wrong with the place. Except this guy who looks like a teenager in a cop costume. Since they don't find anything, Sheriff Hunt is convinced of Norman's innocence, no matter what Tracy tries to say.
I've had enough of this Nancy Drew horse shit from you.
Yeah, lady, you think anything's gonna get past this guy? A man who apparently can't even taste blood when it's in his mouth? Oh, what the fuck? It's like that scene from Ice Cream Man, where he's eating an eyeball. Remember that? Tracy has convinced Maureen that Norman's weird by telling her about his past, so his new fixation leaves to go stay with that psychiatrist instead. After she's gone, Norman searches the house for Mother and finds a note saying she's waiting for him in cabin 12. He heads there with the absolute silliest look on his face. What is that emotion even supposed to be? Whatever it is, it changes after he finds Mother in a cabin with Dwayne the Duke Dukeson, sitting like a creeper in the corner with his guitar, probably playing SmackDown Hotel. Damn, Duke, you look like shit right now, man. This weirdo stole Mrs. Bates' body last night, and now he's trying to blackmail Norman with it.
I mean, I could have turned Mama over to the cops this afternoon, but all that would have gotten me was a pat on the back for doing my civic duty.
He'd rather Norman pay him a bunch of bucks, but Norman would rather this ashtray pay a visit to Duke's face. Norman knocks him out with a lamp to the head, but he ain't out entirely. Thanks for the pointer, Mummy Mom. He finishes the job by treating Duke's head like the stage after a Jimi Hendrix performance. At the diner, Tracy talks to Statler and another waitress to learn more about Emma Spool's past. It leads her to the diner's previous owner, a dude in a nursing home who says he hired Spool after she got out of a mental asylum. As Tracy gets more backstory, Maureen backslides into danger, telling that priest she feels like she should trust Norman, based on all her visions of the Virgin Mary.
And the woman in the window. That must have been Mary too.
Yeah, and don't even get her started on the toast she had this morning. Norman wraps up Duke and retrieves Patsy's body from the ice chest. Wow, that thing thawed out real fast. I would have thought it was frozen. Oh, Norman, no! Not necrophilia too! Bad Norman, bad!
He kept telling me he was falling in love with my dead body.
What? Maybe he was just trying to make Shay feel better after she had to be buried in real ice. She said her skin actually turned blue for real here. Norman starts driving the bodies to his old swamping grounds when Duke rises in the back seat. Dude ain't dead, I fooled you with that kill graphic. Jaffe did get hurt for real though when Perkins hit him in the back of the head with that guitar. They had to pause production while he got stitches at the local hospital. Duke strangles Norman like he's Chucky in Child's Play 2 before he's pulled into the passenger seat floor where he gets stuck. When Norman keeps driving the car into the swamp, Duke Duke is trapped within the vehicle and drowns to death, for real this time, while Norman Chappa quits the car and escapes like Kendall Roy. Tracy does more research about Emma Spool, sadly not with microfilm, but with an old newspaper, which she takes to show that priest. He says, okay, that's cool, but Sister Mo ain't even here no mo. She's back at the cabin, you know, the one with the shower. She's gotta be a pretty baby for Norman. She sees him get back home and walks straight through the front door of the Bates house for that deed. She walks up the psycho stairs, which always ends well, and he appears at the top to take her hands in his.
Norman!
Oh, but one mother-loving word causes an accidental arbogast. A statue waiting for her impales Maureen through the back of the head, killing her in a way that was honestly too quick and cheap for it to affect me at all. It's just kinda dumb. Tracy goes to the motel, not knowing it's too late to save Maureen, and overhears Norman doing his one-man, one-mother show inside the house. She enters through the kitchen and finds a funeral for Maureen. Wait, how did Norman light all those candles so fast? Well, it's still a lovely service. Care to say a few words, Tracy?
You dumb, stupid, naive girl.
Yeah, maybe not the right time or place. She turns around to find this absolutely hideous sight. Egad, it couldn't get any worse.
Why can't you leave my poor son, my Norman, alone?
Never mind, it got worse. Norman has fallen off the edge of sanity and stalks after Tracy, who tells him he's got it all wrong. Emma Spool lied. See, she was actually Norman's aunt. Her sister Norma really was Norman's real mother after all. But Emma loved her sister's husband, Norman's father, so Emma killed him in a jealous rage and kidnapped baby Norman.
She killed your father because she thought you were a child!
Okay, so let me get this straight. Not only does this movie turn Norman back into a crazy killer after we spent a whole movie rooting for him to get better, but it also takes Psycho 2's twist ending and throws it out the window, saying, never mind, the twist is that the twist wasn't real? Yeah, man. That decision came from screenwriter Charles Edward Pogue, who had co-written The Fly. He didn't like that part 2 messed with the mythology of Mother, so Uno reversed it. The revelatory new info causes Norman to de-wig. When he grabs the knife to get stabby again, it's not Tracy he drives the blade into. It's the mummified corpse of Emma Spool, his former co-worker, then mother, but then actually his aunt. Stabs the hell out of her too, finally shuts her up. Now maybe he can get a little bit of sleep. The cops come the next morning, with Sheriff Hunt pissed about the egg on his face. Yeah, maybe he shouldn't have been that defensive of Norman, man. You know, it got to a certain point. The movie ends with Norman in cuffs, but him saying he's finally free. Free to get a handy from that mummified mommy hand, I bet. I know you're a little freak, Norm. With Norman back behind the knife, did he get a new PR for kills? Let's find out and get to the numbers.
Oh, shit. Sorry, I didn't realize you were filming.
Yeah, brand manager, producer Ben. What's up?
Have you seen Zorn? I haven't heard from him in like 2 weeks.
Zoran. Oh, the, guy.
Yeah, my height and your employee.
No, he said, that he would call you. He would call you and tell you what's up.
Oh, okay.
So, give him a call back.
I mean, this is delightful, I guess.
No! No! Keep me your schedule. Please.
Who'll write the sponsor?
Don't. 5 people died in Psycho 3, with the victims consisting of 4 women and 1 man. You might expect such a lady-laden pie chart to be rare, and you'd be right. This is the first time we've seen this count and breakdown before, giving us a kilogami. With a runtime of 93 minutes, Psycho 3 had a kill on average every 18.6 minutes. I'll give the Golden Chainsaw the coolest kill to Red. I know it's a re-rendering of the shower kill, but it ain't bad. The feet on broken glass is particularly rough to watch. The machete for lamest kill will go to Maureen Coyle, because it feels like they just needed to kill her and did it in the first way that came to mind. Way too quick and cheap. And that's it! Psycho 3 came out in the summer of 1986, which the LA Times deemed summer sequel mania, thanks to other films like Aliens, Poltergeist 2, and Friday the 13th Part 6. Unlike Psycho 2, Part 3 didn't do great at the box office, which meant the next installment wouldn't make it into theaters. Don't worry, we'll still look at it to cap off the OG series. But until next time, I'm James A. Janice. This has been The Kill Count.
On the next Kill Count.
Nowadays, the people making us scream are the same ones making us laugh. And once again, sketch comedy has led to the birth of something frightening.
I'm changed. I'm a changed man.
Milk and Cereal is a found-footage horror film written and directed by Curry Barker, one half of internet sketch duo That's a Bad Idea. Oh look, there's the other half.
It's really good, don't it?
It follows a pair of internet jokesters in the midst of a crazy prank war.
This is definitely going to be the most insane prank we have ever done on this channel.
What could possibly go wrong?
Are those real bullets? Are they gonna get hurt? Blanks! Bangers!
Well, no spoilers, but things, they go pretty wrong.
Unlucky.
It's a creepy, slow burn horror flick made with $800 in a dream.
It's just something you're not supposed to do, you know?
Well, they did it anyway, and you can watch it for free, like right now.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man, it's on their YouTube channel, and it's only an hour. So this week, start your morning right with a bowl of milk and cereal.
It could be good for the video.
And this Friday, prank a friend with a kill count, only on Dead Meat.
You're just gonna have to wait and see it all play.
Milk and Cereal can currently be watched on the pictured streaming platforms. Dead Meat always recommends you watch the movie for yourself before its kill count. It's the only way to have your own properly informed opinion. Kill counts are never meant to replace the experience of watching a film.
Hey everyone, thanks a lot for watching the Psycho 3 kill count. I actually ran out of time to shoot the call to action in the studio because I had to leave to come here to Alabama to shoot a small part in a movie. So yeah, I'm on set right now. I can't say too much about it, but the people I'm working with on this thing are amazing. The writer-director of the movie has made movies we've covered on the channel. The people I'm acting in scenes with have been in big movies we've covered on the channel. I just feel really fortunate to be able to do this. I want to give a few updates for the channel just to keep everyone in the know. The Dead Meat Horror Awards are being worked on and should be out sometime in the summer, June, July at the latest. I don't want to go into August. If it happens, it'll happen, but I'm trying to avoid that. We've just got a lot of things going on with our employees taking time off for other projects that we want to be supportive of. But the work is underway. It is happening, I promise. It'll be great. And the Horror Royal Rumble, also work has been being done on that. But we're thinking at this point the best thing might be to make that an annual release in October during Dead Meat's biggest season. I know that's like 6 months away, so that sucks because we really wanted to come out too. So we might do something in the meantime, like I don't know, like a horror Money in the Bank. That's fewer horror wrestlers, but it still might be fun to do. I don't know. Let me know if you want to see that. And again, I hate that we're gonna have to wait so long for it, but trying to release it at the same time as the Horror Awards means 2 really big projects for us stacked on top of each other. And that is difficult to do. But there are your updates on those, and there's more cool stuff coming. Keep an eye out on Dead Meat Presents, which might not be Dead Meat Presents for long. Stay tuned, everyone, and be good people.